seeking hair removal. Now, we're going to get into the details of who this petitioner is and the case that the suspended Chief Justice is taking to the court right now. But as we were learning today, the Office of the Attorney General is urging an Accra High Court to dismiss, in fact, strike out yet another case filed by the Chief Justice, Justice Tokono. She's in court once again, seeking to halt the ongoing impeachment process, insisting one of the entities behind the petition, Shining Stars of Ghana, does not have a legal status. Documents filed on behalf of the Attorney General by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Shemsai, wants the High Court to rule that the Chief Justice's request has no basis in law. Now, let's walk you through parts of the document as we have secured here on Ghana Tonight, filed by the Attorney General. And Dennis Boberwadam Esquire is with me in the studios, so it's good to have you at a time like this.
It's a pleasure being here, Alfred.
What's the latest on this? What do we know?
Well, so, Alfred, if you recall, somewhere last month, that's in July 2025, the Chief Justice, her ladyship, filed another judicial review. And this time around, that was in respect of one of the petitioners who are seeking her removal. And that was to the effect that she wanted the High Court to declare that that particular petitioner, in the person of the Shining Stars of Ghana, does not exist in law and it does not exist in fact. The argument advanced by the Chief Justice in that particular suit was to the effect that when you check the records, you do not see that the Shining Stars of Ghana exist anywhere, either as an incorporated body or anything of that sort.
Right.
And to that extent, it should be declared as not being in existence, whether in fact or in law. Now, the Attorney General today has also filed a process seeking to set aside this particular suit. And in doing so, the Attorney General is making the argument that the matters that the Chief Justice wants the High Court to look into are matters that are within the purview of Article 146, specifically the part where such matters are supposed to be in camera. And to the extent that they're supposed to be in camera, they should not be admissible in that court.
Right.
So to that extent, the Attorney General wants the court to strike out that particular suit. Then again, the Attorney General also argues that yes, Shining Stars of Ghana may not be incorporated, but it might be an unincorporated body of persons.
What does that mean?
Well, to say that it is incorporated means that it is set up to exist as having a legal personality in law.
Right.
And that was part of the argument that the Chief Justice advanced in saying that it does not exist in law and it does not exist in fact.
So essentially, the AG is saying yes, it could
be in existence, but in a different form, which says that it might be an unincorporated body of persons.
So in plain language, it could be an existing body, but not incorporated in law.
Yes.
Okay.
And that does not deprive them of existence, as has been canvassed by the Chief Justice in that particular suit.
Right.
The Attorney General also goes on to say that such an entity does not necessarily have to incorporate or be registered to exist in law. That is an extension of the earlier point that you have made.
That's right.
That yes, it may exist, but not in the form that the Chief Justice says that it has to exist to be in existence in law. It may not be incorporated, it may not be registered, but it may be an unincorporated body of persons,
That's right.
however described.
Right.
The Attorney General goes on to say that under the circumstances, the court has to exercise its jurisdiction and to strike out the case to the extent that they make the argument that these are matters that are within the purview of an in-camera hearing. Such matters should not be disclosed in open courts. And to the extent that they make the argument that, yes, it may not be incorporated, but it can exist in other forms. On the totality of it, the Attorney General's argument is that, you know what, just dismiss this case. Now, mind you, this is not the first time. Even before the Chief Justice filed this particular suit, there was another judicial review that was in respect of some procedural breaches that she alleged, including the breach of her rights and all that.
Yes.
It was the same approach that the Attorney General used in filing a motion to set aside that particular action. That succeeded, and that particular judicial review was struck out. Now, it is the same thing we are seeing playing out here, or the same strategy, but we are unable to tell at this level what the decision of the court would be. Whether to allow that or to allow the case to proceed for it to be heard on its merit. So that's by way of update on this particular matter, Alfred.
I see, but I recall that when this matter came up earlier, you had indicated that in some instances the court will look at the merits of the petitioner's case as against its legal status, right? So if you're juxtaposing the two positions as earlier espoused, how does this link to the previous position that?
So the route that we are on now would not even allow the court to begin to look into that. What they are looking into would be whether or not the Attorney General's process meets the threshold of setting aside the original matters. It is only if that fails, then they begin to look into whether or not these persons actually exist in fact or they do not exist.
Okay.
But look at it. The Attorney General does not only argue on the existence of these persons. He argues on the fact that these are matters that should not even come before this particular court. So if that threshold is something that the court thinks that it's okay to proceed with it, then it means that they may not even go into the next leg of it. It will just end there. The matter will be struck out.
I see. So there is actually raising questions about the jurisdiction of the court, essentially.
Precisely.
I see. Well, it's the coming days we'll look at how things will play out, is it not?
Precisely so. So that's how we are looking forward to see how this will progress. And even, remember, the Chief Justice and her lawyers also have that opportunity to respond to this.
True.
As to whether they oppose it or they will go to court to argue viva voce. That's a different thing that we are looking at. So there are so many legs this particular case can run on.
I do appreciate you, as always, breaking the matters down. And we're following this quite closely, and we will be taking you through every step of the way. Dennis Pabewadam, as always, doing the job for us. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Now, you're still live here on Ghana Tonight. Coming up next, some suspected illegal miners have been arrested after a violent clash with the Anti-Galamsey task force in Amansia West. Now, we reveal the chilling detail of the growing threat of Galamsey to our livelihoods, this existential threat that we describe it. Now, I'm going to show you a video. The IGP's Special Anti-Galamsey Task Force came under attack at Bonteso in the Ashanti region after seizing an excavator from an illegal miner or in the illegal mining site near Manson Kwanta. I want to show you this site, this illegal mining site that the Anti-Galamsey Special Task Force set up by the IGP accosted. That's what you see there. This is what they found after they acted upon a tip-off. In fact, this was first revealed, this Galamsey activity in this particular area was first revealed by Erastus Asaridonko, a Joy News reporter, who uncovered what's going on there, because this Anti-Galamsey task force had earlier, by a little over a month ago, gone to this area, clamped down on illegal miners, drove them out of this site. But a few weeks later, the illegal miners returned. And so Erastus then went back and got the information that the illegal miners are back. This IGP Special Task Force on illegal mining went back there to track them, and guess what? They found this. But here's where it gets worrying. The officers of this Special Anti-Galamsey Task Force by the IGP came under attack by the community members of Bontreso. And they had to fire warning shots to ward off these community members who, according to the commander who led them, were wielding stones and other elements to attack them because they had gone there to clamp down on illegal mining. Take a look.
Oh, Massa. Yes, sir.